Hello, everyone. I'd like to start first by thanking everyone who's been listening into my video posts over the last few weeks. And also, there are a few requests that have come in terms of topics that they would like me to speak on. And this is one topic that one of the readers or listeners has actually requested for and is being posted for the benefit of everyone. The question that this listener asked was, how does one build trust with the coachee in a coaching process? I think it's a very important question because oftentimes when a leader is assigned to a coach, there are a lot of questions in the mind of the leader. The questions are, uh, am I suitable for the role that I'm doing? Are there gaps in what I'm doing? Uh, are there concerns that I'm not aware of? Is there an agenda of the management to have me coached, which they are not spelling out? So, for want of a better word, I would say some coaches could be suspicious of the entire process of coaching, wherein they could also be suspicious of the coach as to is this coach who is engaged with the management going to go and relay anything that I am speaking with him back to the management? And these are absolutely valid questions because the coach is engaged by the management, paid for by the management of the organization. So there is every reason for the coachee to have these questions in his or her mind. Now, I can speak from my experience in terms of how is it that I have been able to establish uh, a certain level of chemistry, comfort with my coaches as I've worked through this process over the last decade or so. The first thing I do as a process is I set expectations upfront, both with the management and especially in this video, as I'm speaking about the coachee, is with the coachee that every conversation that happens between me and the coachee is in the private and confidential space. And when I say private and confidential space, I actually express very clearly that not even my friends, my relatives, my colleagues in the coaching community, or any of my blogs, or any conversation I would have, let alone with the management of the company that the person is employed with, I would ever utter a single word about any conversation that we would have in the current conversation or in any future conversations. So during the coaching process, whatever conversations I would have with the coachee would be in the private and confidential space. That's number one. The second thing I also emphasize to gain confidence of the coachee is that I'm a professionally certified coach from ICF and I'm bound by the code of ethics that is applicable to all coaches. And I take the code of ethics extremely seriously and I call that out upfront. The third thing I do is I also call out to the coachee that since the organization is sponsoring the entire engagement, it is but fair for the management or the organization to want some kind of an update or some kind of an insight into what is happening in these conversations and what are the outcomes they could expect as a result of the investment they are making. Hence, I also clarify that there would be a tripartite meeting after 3 sessions or so, and after every 3 sessions or so, with the sponsor from the organization, which could include the senior leader who has sponsored the coaching and the HR head who is a part of the sponsorship process. And in this conversation, the coachee will be at liberty to share whatever he or she is comfortable with. And as a coach, I would not volunteer any information, but I would be a part of that meeting to listen into the conversation that the coachee is having with the sponsor and with the HR head. And I also put in that it is important for the coachee to share whatever he or she is comfortable with, number one, and number two, also seek additional inputs and feedback from the sponsor, and also observations of the sponsor and the HR head in terms of any insight that they could offer him to get better at what he or she is trying as an outcome from the coaching journey that he or she is undergoing. And that aspect is an important aspect which allows the organization A to get insight, and B also for the coachee to get insight, and most importantly for the coachee to control the conversation and the level of disclosure he or she is willing to make. As a result of this, the process stays within the realms of confidentiality, and at the same time, the organization also gets the benefit of insight into what is happening and can also give in additional inputs to both the coach and the coachee on areas that may not be creating the impact as much as they would like to see. Now, I hope this answers the specific question that some of you have asked, and hopefully it is helpful. Thank you so much.